Phew, I've done it. Yay, I'm the right way round. Sorry about that, folks. Right, I hope you've all managed to get some lunch and you're raring to go for another live. I thought while we're waiting for people to join in, I've got a few cards that I thought I'd show you that I've used Inkables with. So hello. So welcome Samantha and Shireen and Caroline and Sue and Angie and Noreen. Thank you very much for joining me. Hi Ali. Congratulations on your good news. Okay. So we're up to 8 people now. Hi Moira, sorry about earlier. I hope I didn't make any of you seasick. I'm feeling much better, thank you. Still a little bit on the snotty side, but you know, I'm loads better than I was. I've also got an emergency bottle of water down here, and do you know, just as Bev was starting her live this morning, the postie rang the doorbell. And it was a parcel from my very good friend Lynn, who I think is going to be tuning in any second. She'd been to a place called Moffat, I don't know if you know of it, in Scotland, which has the best sweetie shop in the entire universe. And she'd sent us a tub of Moffat toffee, which I'll show you, looks like this. Okay. And I've got one of those on standby just in case I cough again. So hopefully all will go well. Right. So let's show you a few cards. So this one is, it was done on a jelly plate. Lou Sims did a fantastic demo of using a jelly plate with distress oxides. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it. Okay, so I did that, and then I used the small circles in easy frame on that, just to highlight the butterfly in the middle. Okay, this is another one using the easy frames. I've got a whole pile using easy frame. Oh, and texture discs in the middle, and these are from texture discs as well that I've just done with pen. Okay. This is another one done with the easy frames, the oak leaf easy frame, circle easy frame. That's the nettle leaf easy frame. So that's the butterfly easy frame. Another one done with the small circle easy frame, and then that's a dinkable, and that's a big one in the middle. Okay. It just shows you can just use bits of them. This is the tag inkable in the background there. This is a card made with the one of the mandalas. I'm not sure which number it is, but there you go. There's all sorts on this one. My three I suppose it could be my 3 favourites actually. That's one of the mandalas. That's the Bakewell, and then the circles are one of the dinkables. This dinkable. Okay. And then this one is done using text paste. There's a step-by-step on the Bee Crafty blog with the instructions for that on. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that texture there. It is, that's the crackle texture paste. Okay. And then this one is a really, really easy one, done with the number 2 mandala. That was the last one that I got. Okay. Now, also, I put this on the pile because in here, Bev showed you this morning that she'd done some doodling through the mandala inkables in black. And I thought I'd show you that you can do it in white as well. So it's this is my craft journal, and I used the outer part of the mandala stencil, put it down, gesso, then put the middle bit on and put the paint, the Dilutions paint on, and then went over it with white pens. So, you know, there's all sorts of things that you can do with them. Oh, excuse the vibration there. That was my phone telling me that I'm live. Okay, so going to do 2 cards. One very, very, very simple one, and one that's a little bit more in depth. Okay, so I'm going to start with the simple one because this is like a very quick card. This is the lovely musical one. I thought I'd use the colours that I used on. Let me just grab it. Where is it? Use the colours that I used on this one because there are a lot of people who said they really liked those colours. So I thought I'd show you what colours I used. So it's Twisted Citron, Peacock Feathers, Blueprint Sketch, and Wilted Violet. Okay, so those are the inks that I'm using. And this is just one stencil, very, very quick card. In fact, I'll let you into a secret. I made a card. My sister-in-law popped round and said, "Oh, I need a card for our choir master. He's only just let on that it's his birthday." So I said, right, wait 5 minutes, and I made a card just like this for him. So there you go. Right, so I'm going to start off with the purple, which is the Wilted Violet. I'm using Distress Oxides. I've just realised you can't quite see that in the top of your... Is that better? Yeah, I'll move it down a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to come on with purple, just downward strokes, starting on the inkable and just downward strokes like that. Okay, next I'm going for the Blueprint Sketch. Okay. Not getting quite so much on there. Let's try a bit more. There we go. You can sort of go around a bit. The thing to watch is that the end of that quaver just there, because it does tend to wobble about a bit, and you might not get quite such clear lines if you wobble it about. But once you've done that, you should be fine. The rest of it is all fairly straightforward. Okay, so this is the Peacock Feathers. Hope I'm not wobbling you about too much. I've just noticed my camera's wobbling a fraction. And then this is a Twisted Citron. I'm just going to go over that Peacock Feathers a bit more. My Peacock Feathers stamp pad I have used probably more than any of the others, so I haven't quite. That's better. That's more a similar sort of depth of colour to the other one. And I've attached with just a bit of masking tape at the top here, and so I can just lift it up just to check, make sure that it's okay underneath. So it's like a hinge. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with the same colours the other way. So in with the peacock feathers again on the other side of the twisted citron. Okay, and then onto the blueprint sketch. And then finally finish off at the other side with the wilted violet. Okay. Just peel that off. There we go. Oh, and I better put my lids back on before Bev shouts at me. Right, so I've just got the word hope, which is on the small words stamp set, which I've just cut out, just done a little bit of blue inking around the edges, and just going to pop a little bit of matte medium on the back and just pop that on the bottom corner there, and there we go. One card done in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so that was my easy card, and you know, that is one of the most beautiful stencils. It really is. I love it. Let me just show you very quickly. When I was playing with my jelly plate a little while ago, there's another version of it, done on a jelly plate. I don't know if you can see that okay. There we go. So, you know, it can be as complicated or as easy as you like, basically. So there we go. That's the first card done. On to my second card now. This one's going to be a little bit more in-depth. So I've got a piece of just plain stamping card. It's actually the back off one of the cards that, you know, I've the front I made a mistake on, so this is the back bit. Okay, and I've got the this is the ledger stamp from the Ledger and Nibs, which I can just show you. That's what you get on this one. Okay, and I really must do something with the nibs and the inkwell. Okay, so I'm inking this up with a VersaFine Vintage Sepia. So I wanted something that was, you know, not too bold. Right, and I'm just going to stamp it. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because it's just, I want it to fade into the background a little bit. Okay, there we go. Right, I'll stamp this again. Oh, if you hear sort of banging noises, don't worry about it. Steve's outside feeding the birds, and we've got a feeder that's like suction cupped to the window, and when it's like none of the other birds have a problem with it other than the starlings, and then the starlings come down and cause havoc. So okay, so I've got a background there. I'll just give that a quick rinse with the heat tool to make sure it's dry. Right, so next I'm going to use some salvaged patina embossing glaze, and I think I'm going to use, let me see, yeah, I'll use this one. So I'm going to use one of the tag inkables. This is, let me see if I can find a number. I have written the numbers on these. 3. So this is set 3. Okay. Actually, before I do this, I'm just going to give it a quick wipe over with an anti-static wipe. Okay. And then I'm going to put this over the top. And I'm using a embossing ink pad. This is a Versamark ink pad. Oops. I'm just going to ink through the tag inkable like that, and then remove that, and then I'm going to throw some salvage patina at it. There we go. So this will show you reasonably well, hopefully. There we go. Once you heat set the salvage, the embossing glazes, they are translucent. There we go. There's a little bit gone on here, but I'm not worried about that because it all goes in with the design. I think if it hadn't been alive, I'd have probably have let it set for a bit longer, but I can actually brush that off. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to heat that with my heat tool. I'm afraid no musical accompaniment today. Shireen is out in the garden feeding the birds and mowing the lawn, so there we go, it's beginning to go now. Hope you can see this alright. Okay, that's looking more or less there. This last little bit at the bottom. Yep, that'll do us. Okay. So as you can see, you can still see the stamp underneath through that. Okay. I'm just going to move that out of the way. There we go. So now we've done that, I'm going to use some I do like the combination of turquoise and brown, so I'm going to go in with some inks. Now I've got my salvage patina, but I'm also going to use oh, not that one, hang on, I'm looking for my oxides, tea dye, And where is it? Vintage photo. Vintage photo. Here we go. Right. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of the. Let's move these brushes out of the way a minute. Going to add a bit of the vintage. Sorry, the salvage patina. Sorry. Over this part here. You could use either the distress oxides or the normal distress inks for this bit. Okay, it's just giving it a bit of colour really. Okay, and then I think we're going to mix that with a bit of tea dye. And it'll resist, where I've done that embossing, it'll resist the colour. Okay. Right, so when I've done that, I'm going to use the circle from, this is the inny bit of the Easy Frame circles, okay, and the Vintage Photo ink, and I'm going to go round the outside of that, and I'm going to be a bit more heavy-handed with this bit because I want it to be, that circle to be quite clearly defined. Okay. There we go. So you can see I'm just going to add a little bit more colour to this middle bit because it's looking a bit pale. Actually, what I will do, I've got the, this is one of the sets, I'm really sorry, I've not looked at what set this is of the texture discs. So it's this one. It's got the, what I think of as that reminds me of knitting, and that reminds me of a ball of wool. So I'm going to put some of this on as well. So just go through that, put a bit of that on there. Okay, there we go. I'll put a bit more up here as well. Right, and then round the edge I'm going to go in a bit darker still, and I thought I'd use this big one. Actually, what I will do is I'll pop that back underneath so I don't go over the edges and that circle's still well defined. Oh, thanks, Lynn. So that was texture disc set 2, that lot. Okay. And thank you, Lynn, for the Moffat toffee. It's wonderful. Okay, turn it round again. Okay. So I think I'm just going to go over this edge just a little bit more. I want it just a fraction darker. In fact, I will get slightly darker ink. So this is walnut stain. I'll go around the edge with that as well. Just to get that darker edge to it. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm just going to go around the edge of the base card a little bit, the edge of the card as well, a little bit. There we go. And then pop that on there. If I just get my cloth, please excuse the state of it. It has been through the washing machine. It's just take off any of the Distress Oxide that's gone on top of that. There we go. That's better. Right, I'm also just going to go in with a little more salvage patina on that side, just to colour in a bit of that, so it's not quite white space anymore. There we go. Right, so how are we doing? Oh gosh, hardly any time at all. Right, now I found a butterfly earlier that I coloured in, but it's a bit too green, isn't it? So I'm gonna have another go. And I think what I'll do is I'll use the oxide inks to colour it. So I'll do a similar one. But I mean, it would be okay. To me, it's not quite. I think I'll colour this one instead. Okay. So this has been stamped in Versifying Clair onto a piece of watercolour card from the this pad. I do go on about this, but you've got texture on one side, but the other side is more or less flat, so you can stamp on the other side of it really quite easily. Okay. So I'll use salvage patina. I'll just give that a quick wipe. Okay. So I'm going to use a paintbrush and water. Okay. So I'm just painting this with regular salvage patina distress ink. And I think I might add a bit of peacock feathers as well, just to take that colour a little bit more, a bit darker in places. I've gone all quiet again, haven't I? Often happens when I'm colouring in, painting. There we go. And then for the other bits, I'm going to use some, let me see, what's this one? A bit of wild honey. And a bit of crackling campfire. Okay. Just doing a bit of the crackling campfire because it is a very, very intense colour. And maybe a bit along this top edge as well. Okay, and then I'll go in with the wild honey. I think, you know, when you colour in butterflies, you can go for whatever you like, really. But there are some very good examples in nature. And we went over to the water meadow the other day and saw some brimstone butterflies, which are like a lime green, yellowy green colour. It's not quite, it's somewhere between twisted citron and mustard seed, and they were just fabulous. Really, you know, in your face colour. Love it. There we go, it's looking about there, isn't it? Let me brush a bit more. So let's have a look at that against that background. Oh yeah, yeah, that's looking all right, isn't it? I'll just wipe this out the way. Okay, now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I'd quite like that border a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in again with the, where are we? No, not tea dye, walnut stain, but I'm going to use a sponge this time, which is just like the applicators that Bev and Sam have used earlier. It's just it's not on a handle. It just, the colour does apply thicker and darker with the sponge than a brush. There we go. And I might just, do you know what? I'm doing it a bit dark around there as well. That's better. Okay. I'll give it one little buff with the cloth just to, it just means that that embossing that you did to start off with stands out a bit more with the darker colour behind it. Okay, so I've got my butterfly, I've got my my background, and I've also found here something that I'd done earlier, which was these are from, hang on a second and I will tell you. I think it's the ticker tape word 1. Let me just double check. This set, which I'm pretty sure is 1. Okay. So that is stamped and white embossed onto craft card. Okay. And I'll just use my scissors and cut those out. These are fabulous, these sentiments, because if you don't think you can cut straight, you can cut straight round these because they're in a box. Okay, we've got laugh beyond words. I'm doing it the opposite way to what it should be. Love every day. And live every moment. There we go. Oh, I'll just straighten that up. Hang on. There we go. So live every moment, love every day, and laugh beyond words. Now, just looking at those, I'm wondering if I need to put, I think I'm going to just give those a quick brush of ink as well, just to make them stand out just a little bit more. So, there it is. Just go over those with my brown ink brush. They're a fraction darker. That's better. can always give them a rub as well to get the ink off the embossing. Okay, and then I've got a blank card. Here we go. Just check I'm opening it right. This should fit on there, yep, quite nicely. So I've gone for a cream card base because I thought with that brown, the cream went probably a fraction better. What I might do, I'm just gonna, I've noticed that's quite white, so I'm just gonna go in with a, that's it, take the whiteness off. Now, normally I'd stick this under something heavy just to flatten it out before I stuck it down for a bit, but I won't do that today. I'll just bend it so that it does lie a bit flatter. That should be fine. And then I'm going to put some tape on this, she says. Now I've got a roll of tape around here somewhere. There it is. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Now you can matte and layer it if you want to. I've left enough space, but I think with that inking around the edge, it doesn't really need it. This one doesn't. So. Okay. Right, so just double, oh no, I turned it round, just double checking again, it opens in the right direction. Popping this down, making sure it's straight. Looks about right. I press the middle bit down in the two corners where I've taken the tape off, and then that'll hold it in position while I press the rest of the tape down. Okay. Oh, those butterflies and this ticker tape they are some of my most used stamps, definitely. Okay. So I've got my butterfly and I'm just going to shape it a little bit with my bone folder. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to wobble you there. So I'm just curling the wing over the bone folder and then pushing it down in the middle next to the body bit. So I'm shaping it just that little bit. With the butterfly, I mean, you know, you can go to town really. There's things like the sparkle pen in the moonlight pens that you could go over bits of the wings with. You could put some white highlights on. You could put some glaze on it, so it you know, it's brighter. But I'm just going to leave it like that today, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a bit of Distress Collage Medium in the middle of the body. What I tend to do, if I'm posting, I won't put like 3D glue on it, or I'll put some foam pads on it, but I'll probably put a couple of, in fact I've got some foam tape here. I'll use a bit of this foam tape. I think this is one that's not particularly sticky, but it'll do. So a little bit of foam tape either side of the body, just to give it a bit of dimension. There we go. And I'll pop that there. Okay. And then we'll have live every moment up here. Love every day in the middle. The other lovely thing about that the ledger stamp is you've got the lines, so you can actually line your sentiments up so they're straight on it. And laugh beyond words, I'm going to stick at the bottom there. And there we go. So I'll bring that other card back in. Where are we? There we go. So 2 cards in about 45 minutes, which isn't bad going really, is it? Okay, so if there's anything that you would like to ask or anything that you want to see, give us a shout. That's absolutely fine. Actually, before I go, I did dig out my my journal, the one that's got the most in, which is my small Dilutions journal, just to show you, like Bev, when I'm using my Inkables, I tend to give them a spritz and pop them in. And if you look at the back pages of this, look, there's that's one of the tags. That's the little circles one that from the Dinkables that Sam was using this morning. There's some that is that the one? Yes. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on that, but that was using. I'd used one of the mandalas for shimmer paints, and so gave it a quick spritz before it dried out and popped that in there. Some more of the Dinkables there. The ever lovely Bakewell, which I think is my most used ever. And that, the page that I used it on, is nearer the front of my journal, and I can show you. She says it's here. There it is, look. So, and that's like the reverse option of it as well. So, you know, lots and lots of ways. Oh, there's some more, look. There's little circles. That Dinkables circle one I use loads. There's the Bakewell again, and that'll all be places to start when I do some journaling next. And there's another one that's using the small Inkables Easy Frame Butterfly to make that background. So there you go. Lots and lots and lots of things to do with Inkables, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So next up, there are 2 amazing videos coming. Okay, so there's also so I think one's 3 amazing videos coming, because there is one from our lovely Alison, one from the wonderful Anne, and another one from the fantastic Lou Sims. So yeah, three 3 videos on the way, and another live at 8 o'clock. And in between, there's all sorts of things happening, so giveaways and stuff. So have a fantastic rest of the day. I'm not sure who's doing the live tonight because that's a surprise, and I'm a bit miffed because I'll be out of karate, so I won't be there to see it live. So I just hope that I'll be rushing back from karate to watch. Okay, on catch up. So have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you again soon. I'll be back next Wednesday, 23rd, I think that's right. And I'll be doing a live here on the Bee Crafty page at 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, thanks. Thanks, guys. Bye.